Hello, everybody, and welcome into That Real Texas Team podcast, episode 52. We're going to be reacting to the abysmal performance where the Titans took down the Texans 32-27. My name is Curtis Brown. You can find me on Curtis's Podcast Network, the host of this AFC South show. With me, as always, my resident co-hosts, Mike. You can find him over at Mass 3 Productions on most social media platforms. Give him a like, subscribe. Down here at the bottom, we got Pac-Man Freestyle, aka Chris, aka Slim Chickens. And you can find him at That's Crazy Podcast and Talk. Like and subscribe. We're trying to grow all four of the channels, really, and get put in front of more Texans people. So, like, we need more Texans fans watching the damn show. With that being said, like, subscribe, notification bell. 32-27 loss to the Titans. What the fuck?
I'm sorry, Texans fans. I'm sorry.
I live in Tennessee. Okay? They're out here just like, oh man, we were the better team. We did a lot of good stuff. Bro, we left so many points on the field. So many points. We beat the hell out of ourselves. At every given opportunity, we kicked ourselves in the dick, blew it off with a shotgun. Like it was aggressive. We have some injuries. We'll get into those real quick. Jalen Petrie, I don't remember exactly when he left the game, but the moment I stopped seeing him on the field, the defense stopped being able to do things. Jalen Petrie tore his pec. He's out for multiple weeks. So we'll get into how that affects the way the defense is made up. Kadar Holman also injured in the game. I did not catch what he got hurt with, but we will let you know the more we know. Let's get into risers and fallers. You guys want to start with the positive or the negative?
I need to be able to sleep tonight, so let's go ahead and start with the negative first and get it out the way.
All right. In the opposite order in which I wrote them down, Kaimi Fairbairn, our first faller. He has made routine out of kicking 50-plus yard field goals, literally set an NFL record this season for the most made 50-plus yard field goals in NFL history in the single season. However, give this man a 28-yard chip shot, watch him miss it. You might be thinking, whoa, what? Well, remember the Jets game? How about the Vikings game? Missed a couple in that one. Not all of them are 50-plus yards.
I associate it with like a basketball term, that guy that can shoot 3-pointers, but fucking sucks at free throws.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. He can drain it from deep, damn near half court.
Yeah.
But hey, you need him to shoot a free throw, take the L.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yep. That was not what I was expecting. When the moment we decided, all right, it's fourth down, let's kick that field goal, I was like, all right, we're going to tie it up right here. We're going to kick it off. We're going to stop them. We're going to get the ball back, and then we're going to kick a field goal and win the game. Go home. Nothing else is, nothing's wrong with the world. Instead, we missed the field goal, stop the Titans, get the ball back, and again, shoot ourselves in the dick with a holding penalty on the punt return, backing us up to the 7, and then eventually allowing 2 straight sacks of CJ Stroud for a safety. The onside kick was fucked. Titans player hits it. The Henry Toe is right there. And then there's just no one else. There's just not one other person on that side of the field. And the ball goes out of bounds and the game is over for all intents and purposes. So Fairbairn did his job on the onside. Everybody else just didn't. Do you guys have any more Fairbairn before I go on to the next one?
That sounds like I know you said
fuck
fair,
me, man.
that's like a follower, a whole special team follower, just from every game. Yeah, I want to say because I say Fairbairn did his job there, and
Is he quiet to anyone else? You kind of
Yeah,
quiet.
check your mic.
I got quiet. Hold on, is that better?
Yes.
Way better. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
My
All
bad.
right. What'd you just say?
Oh, I was just saying, it sounds like more of that should have just been a whole like special team followers thing, not just Fairbairn, because special teams
What?
seemed like they were just all out of sorts, just all game.
But if we're being completely honest, I don't want to give it to all the special teams because if it wasn't for the special teams, we probably wouldn't have been in the game.
Yeah, and that's the thing is we got what 2 fumble recoveries off of special teams on punt when we punted the ball, and then Damian Pierce had the phenomenal opening game kickoff return.
Did it a second time too, but then goddamn penalty.
Yep. How about we add punt team and Pierce to the risers, just kind of balance it out here.
Okay, so like, this is my thing. Okay, so like, you know how we have those videos that be out at the end of the game when we win, and you know you got D'Amico giving. And I know I'm kind of going off script here, but you got D'Amico giving out game balls and stuff like that for all these things. Like, I need to see a video of him getting into these ripping their tail off. That's what I need to see to actually believe that they're doing something.
I don't know.
I will tell you
this doing that.
That's the thing about it. Even if it is happening, you will never see a video of it.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually starting to believe that maybe I'm praying and hoping that D'Amico is going to the podium and saying what makes the players feel better. And then behind closed doors, he says, "Man, what the fuck were you doing?"
Literally.
Yeah, that's what they need to hear. Like as bad as it sounds, they need to hear that.
Because no, but I understand about him not wanting to put it in media. I get that. I really just hope that that's what's going on because, yeah, I'm looking at the offensive line and I can't say who would I rather not see play, Juice Scruggs or Shaq Mason. But I'm personally feeling we can't continue to play both of these sorry motherfuckers. We can't keep playing both of them.
Yeah.
Yep. And anybody that replace them, they can't stay on the field to save their lives. And the backups, they hurt, got concussion. Something's always wrong with any of the backups. Excuse me.
I don't for one fucking game, I don't have as much of an issue with Titus fucking Howard. I don't really have as much of an issue with him. And Larry is just the fucking penalties. But Juice Scruggs and fucking Shaq Mason got bulldozed the whole goddamn game. I get it that it's Justin Simmons.
And Tredavion Sweat or whatever his name is.
I get it. But goddamn, at some point, grab your nuts and be a fucking man.
Sweat, if I'm not mistaken, is like 360 pounds. And Shaq
400.
I mean, he a big dude. He a big dude.
Yeah.
But like Shaq Mason,
scared of anybody named Sweat.
Yeah, pretty much. There's like 4 defenders named Sweat in the league. I don't know what the hell's going on with that, but
they're all good.
Are they related? Is there a family?
I don't know. Shit, it
We'll
can't be that common of a.
Yeah. So look, let's move on to the next faller, Bobby. Gosh dang it, Bobby Slowick. There were a couple different situations, specifically right before the one that jumps off to me, right before we attempt the game tying field goal at the end. We have a second down and 9. And I know that Slowick's about to call a run play. I know this. It just felt like what he was about to do. I was like, but I hope they fucking pass the ball. They run the ball. Okay. 3rd down and 9. He didn't gain a damn yard. Then they try to pass the ball. And I believe it was just an incomplete pass.
Yep.
So now we're sitting here at 4th and 9. And we could have at least, like, if we threw the ball to play before and we get 4 or 5 yards, we're in a much better position on 4th down to maybe consider going for it or just, be on the other side of the hash mark or something, to give Fairbairn, for whatever reason, the other side of the field. I don't know, but it just kind of seems very, very conservative. I think what was it? The Titans scored a total of 10, 12 points in the second half,
Mhm.
and we scored 10 because it was 20-17 at halftime. Yeah, we scored 10 points.
Yeah,
And we had at least 10 points taken off the board in the second half.
It was 17. Wasn't it 17-17 at halftime? We went
No,
inside.
no,
they
they
kicked
had a
them off.
field goal, right? Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
CJ threw that interception to Kenneth Murray in like under 2 minutes in the 2-minute drill, and at the end of the first half.
I saw that one. That's the one. The one he was throwing to Metro, right?
No, that
Yep.
was no, the one to Kenneth Murray was Nico.
Yeah, it was directly to Nico.
The other one.
Wait a minute. Before I forget this, Curtis, you want to feel even more disgusted about that drive? You do understand that one run on 2nd and 9 was the only run on the entire drive? We were passing the ball all the way down the field, and CJ was dissected.
Yeah.
He was tearing them the fuck apart.
Yep.
And literally I said, God, please don't run the fucking ball. CJ, our run game has not worked all game. And Bobby Slowick's stupid ass, whenever he did run the ball, he ran right at the 400-pound guy and the other all-pro.
Yep.
God damn it. And I was like,
and that's my whole thing. Their line, they have like, what is it, like the first or second best line in the entire league? Like that's the thing about it. Okay, like,
but no, let me ask you a question. Who plays their defensive ends? Who are
Landry and Arden Key? I only know that because I live here. But Harold Landry's nothing to wag your finger at, but it's definitely not the all-star team that you would expect. It was the interior of the defensive line that was eating our lunch.
And we kept running straight the fuck at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you just said, we can't expect Shaq to really move that big motherfucker. That's not his strength. Because Shaq Mason's only like 6'1". We know that, right?
Yeah.
So he's way shorter than him and way smaller than him. He's not really going to move that guy. Why would I run behind him?
Yeah.
Juice Scruggs is a modified center playing left guard.
It's true.
He hasn't really played good at either position. He hasn't played good at either one this year. Why the fuck would you run behind him?
Yeah. Juice is a little light. He's not quite as long as like his height would make you think. And
short arms.
Yeah, Jarrett Patterson also has, kind of that same issue. They're not run blockers. They were not good run blockers in college. They were damn good pass blockers. In the NFL, though, look, when it comes to the offseason, I don't want to see additions of the wide receiver, running back room. I want to see, we just signed like 12 offensive linemen. We're about to figure something out. Mm-hmm. Like I want the most competitive offensive line room on the planet. That's what I want.
Yeah, that's something they need to figure out. Like get rid of Tunsil. I don't care if they got to get rid of him for a bag of chips. Get rid of him too. He can go too.
I would tell you that Tunsil is the one. Tunsil is the one guy on the line that might survive. Because the thing about it, even though he has all those fucking penalties, his man doesn't touch the fucking quarterback.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
Because he's taking away so many touchdowns. That's my issue with him. His penalties take away so many touchdowns.
But with that being said, his penalties are hardly ever holding.
Bro,
it's the false starts in the legal procedure.
Yeah.
So, which means that can be fixed. But what he actually does good, you can't find a lot of other guys that do good.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, it's five guys on this offensive line. You can even include that guy that's hurt. that's trash. Out of these 5 guys, I told you can only get rid of 2 or 3. Who are those 2 or 3 guys?
Shaq Mason. Oh, Juice is gone. I didn't think Juice was great when he came back last year. I didn't think he was great at all. Shit. And if you want to be honest, like as bad as they were before with King and Green, the run game was significantly better. I mean, the only reason it was so good against Dallas is because they were playing Dallas and they can't stop the run. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just being honest. But
the thing I was trying to get you to see about it is, if we're doing anything and making any change on this line, I'd keep Patterson over Scruggs and Kenyon Green. These are 2 fairly high draft picks. I'm shopping the shit out of both of them for 3rd or 4th round picks.
Yeah.
And
you might be able to get both of them for a 4th. Huh?
Maybe even lower than that, if because like, man, they are atrocious, man.
But that's my point, is I'm shopping them. I'm don't be surprised if I just told you the guys you're gonna get rid of is Shaq, Ken, and Juice. Shaq, y'all do understand that Tampa Bay was about to cut him when we traded for him.
Yeah, I was surprised that we picked him up. That was a thing that.
But the thing about it, if you look back at it, it was a good pickup up until this year. He has not played bad for us. He's age is a thing. He's not good.
Yeah.
I want a new left guard, I want a new right guard, and I want a new center. But if I want to deal with anyone, the only person I would bring back is Patterson.
Yeah. He's been the most consistent.
And I'm not going to fuck with my tackles only because they're the only ones on the offensive line that look like offensive linemen in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be honest, I do agree. Even though I don't agree with a lot of things that I also see from Ty Howard, I do agree. Because like it's that interior, like just that interior. It's like CJ snaps the ball and somebody's just running straight over either one of them. It doesn't even matter. And like it seemed like they were playing a little better, and I guess they weren't. I just guess they were just playing against bad and interior defensive linemen, defensive tackles that were coming at them.
We just said it about the offensive line. They used to be pretty good on the run. Then they were pretty good protecting CJ for a little bit. But when you're fucking up both sides of the ball of being fucked up from the same positions.
Yeah.
The guard center combination is messing you up on the run and the pass. You can't keep playing these guys.
No. You gotta
CJ's gonna fucking turn into David Carr.
Oh my God. Okay. So real quick, can we pivot to that? I think that David Carr's career was ruined because of that. I honestly think that.
It was.
Like people think that David Carr was a bad quarterback. I do not think that. First of all, David Carr was way better than his brother at Fresno State. We're not even going to do that. He was way better. You literally picked up dudes off the street and put them on the line in front of him and said, "Go block for this man." And oh my God,
David Carr was the first pick of the draft for a reason. He was that goddamn good. He really was. Derek Carr was a 2nd round pick for a goddamn reason.
You know what that reason is? A lot of people believed that he couldn't be as good because his brother played bad. Now, I will say, and I agree with both of you, that David Carr was definitely he was given basically the worst version of the Davis Mills situation, where like his rookie year, they didn't help him at all. It's like this rookie year, it was like Corey Bradford was the main weapon. And then they in the expansion draft, their first pick was Tony Baselli, who immediately retired. We were cooked. Is anybody playing music right now?
What is that?
Y'all can actually hear that shit?
Yeah.
Hold on. I think that's my son. That's my son downstairs. Hold on.
I was like, okay, so like I thought I was going crazy, but I was like, man, what is that noise?
Yeah, no. I was like, is that me? No, we're good though.
Nah, my son was either on the guitar. It was either the guitar or the saxophone. He was on one of them.
Okay. Look, I had the interior offensive line already on the Fallers, but we already covered that. So we'll go to the next one. Quality control coordinator. Now, usually there's not just like this person usually has multiple hats. Like they have like something coach / quality coordinator. And the quality coordinator does two things. One, they work on the penalties. They make sure that you're lining up appropriately, that the plays that are being called have functionality in terms of like, you're not going to have, flack from the refs kind of shit. So whoever the fuck that is for the Texans probably needs to get fucked and fired. Get out of here. I don't know. I don't even know who it is. I assume it's probably Slowick. But
no, actually, it probably isn't. It probably isn't. Because I know the guy we originally hired for that position when D'Amico came in. Y'all remember the guy that back for the San Francisco 49ers used to carry the boom box out there?
Mm-hmm.
He used to carry. That was the guy we originally hired as the quality control guy. Then he got, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if he got in trouble with an underage chick or some shit.
Leander
was that
Wallace?
his name? I think that was his name.
Yeah. Leander Wallace was named the offensive quality control coach for the Houston Texans in 2023. He's had various roles in the Texans football operations department since 2021. So he actually predates D'Amico.
Then that's not the guy, because they originally had somebody hired. And I remember it was the guy, he carried the boombox for the 49ers.
Yeah.
And that was the job. He was going to come over and do that, and he got in trouble right as the staff was being developed, and they had to pivot to the Leander guy.
Interesting. Well, Leander needs to get fired.
He's been here long enough.
Yep. Long if fucking enough. Then my final faller, CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud last year was able to make magic happen. And I heard Tank Dell make this quote, and I think it actually applies to this. Last year, nobody believed in them. Everybody doubted them. They were picked to be dead last. This year, they're the favorite in the division, and now they had to prove to everyone that last year wasn't a fluke. Well, usually when you're proving to somebody that you're better than what people say you are, that usually motivates enough people, like total motivation to get something done. When you are doing it to prove that you are as good as like that, the last thing you did, that's usually a little harder to keep motivation for, especially when you're playing in a shit division. I will say, CJ Stroud has obviously, had a lot of games this year where the offensive line gave him no help. He's had games where the wide receiver room is completely depleted. But he's also had games where, a lot of his mistakes are on him and no one else. Overthrows, underthrows, waiting too long to throw a ball and causing an interception, staring down receivers, throwing a ball too far to the inside and not close enough to the outside.
And these are things he didn't do.
No.
He stare down. CJ doesn't stare down receivers. That's the problem. He didn't do that.
These are things he has never done.
Yeah.
All your complaints you could say about him at Ohio State, staring down a receiver? Heck no, he had 8 of them.
Yeah. And that was when he got drafted. My big problem was I didn't think we were ready for a pocket passer. I didn't think our offensive line was built enough. I didn't think we had at the time enough depth behind Dameon Pierce to have like a functioning running back room. And at the time, Nico Collins hadn't proved anything other than the fact that he got hurt a lot.
And
At the
it's
time.
like I said, but he's still doing that. I mean, he's
It's true. I mean, he's missed 5 games this year.
Yeah, and like that.
Nothing's changed. He missed 4 last year, right?
Yeah, and he came, but like the first 2 years, he get hurt and like just not come back, and in the season on IR. He's gotten a little better with having shorter term injuries, I guess, but I mean, this was not a team that was built to do what it did last year. There was definitely going to be it was going to be a hard press to get them to kind of duplicate that success again, especially playing a first place schedule. But, here we are, not too far off the pace from where we were this time last year, but it feels a lot worse than we were last year. I feel like all the things that we were really, really bad at are like last year. We didn't care because CJ Stroud was out here throwing for 400 yards. They were covered up by those things, by the late game heroics. And now this year, we don't have wide receivers that have a great rhythm with him. We don't have blocking. He's not making those plays broken down, hum it down the field 60 yards and find an open Tank Dell. We're not getting those. That's a lot of what CJ Stroud cut his teeth on last year, really. And look, we got 6 games left. 5 games left.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, I mean, 3 of these games I feel like we could win, end up 10-7, winning the division, 4th seed, doing the thing, right? This team is not going to do anything in the playoffs unless the offense figures fucking something out. Joe Mixon can't be the only thing you rely on, and CJ Stroud clearly can't rely on his arm right now. What he's seeing and what he's throwing at are not matching up in his head, and it's just concerning. My fears of when he got drafted feel like they're being realized a year after the fact. Now, I was also pretty outspoken about the fact that you don't draft Ohio State quarterbacks. Most of the time because they're just athletes.
CJ was the one exception
he's
to
not
that.
really just that type of athlete. He's a pocket passer.
Exactly. And it took me, at the time, I'd watched that Georgia Ohio State game in the playoffs. That first half was amazing. And then the Bulldogs just figured out how to stop Ohio State by pressuring the hell out of him. Everyone else took notes. That is the number one way to stop him. And I have this theory that maybe Titus and Laramie aren't as good as we think they are because the entirety of the focus of the defense is the interior of the offensive line. Why mess with somebody who's getting an A and a C when you've got 3 people in the middle who you'd grade as a D or an F? Why even bother? You know what I mean?
Why not take the path of least resistance? Why not?
Exactly. So
that's why I wish they would try something different. The play calling, like I say, the play calling doesn't change. They're always looking for the big play. That is not going to happen. When you see, all you got to do is pressure CJ. Now, I'm not saying he's bad under pressure, but the thing about it is they're pressuring him so quick. And I don't know if they think these people are slow, but they're not. These people are not slow. And you literally start figuring out ways to get the ball out quicker. Tank Dell is fast. Nico is fast. Do little crossing route, something little to get him, just to get him feeling comfortable, and and then that way they'll. Man, I don't know.
Man, the offense changed. I love Nico. Y'all know I love Tank. That's my dude. I haven't seen a slant route since Stephon Diggs got hurt. I have not seen one. I've seen post. I've seen post corners. I've seen go routes. I've seen wheel routes. I've seen full crossing patterns,
out routes, in routes,
all types of shit.
So that brings me
But
to my
what is the one thing? What is the one thing that kills linebackers that are coming? You throw the slant right behind their ass.
Do you know? I just thought about this. We actually have run slant routes. Do you know who the most targeted slant route option since Diggs?
Robert Woods. You got to be Robert Woods.
Joe Mixon.
Seriously?
You're right.
I thought you was
whenever he goes in motion, that's the route he runs.
He runs a slant, and what was it last week against the Cowboys where he dropped that slant? That slant that he catches it, he runs in the end zone. That's what they like doing with him, but they don't do it with anybody else.
I'm going to say this, and I thought this wouldn't be a thing, but if I'm Nick, I might be having conversations with Stephon Diggs about coming back next year right now.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Because at first I didn't want him to come back.
Yeah,
but
I was with you on that.
But I'm starting to see, it's because people are talking about bringing a receiver, but I think we need Stephon Diggs. I don't need him to be a number one. I just need him to be Stephon Diggs. That's all I need him to be, because I don't know, man.
Yeah. The thing is, when looking at Stephon Diggs and even looking at negotiation, this is a man over 30 with an ACL injury.
Yeah.
His market's going to be tiny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
his market's going to be
on a deal.
That's my point to why I say I might talk to him now.
Yeah.
Hey, we want you back. You like it here. Let's figure out something now.
I think he's still going to try free agency, but he'll come back once he realizes that nobody's really trying to take a risk on him.
Well, it ain't even just the injury. The attitude thing is still out there. People still say that about him.
Oh, I know. That's not going anywhere.
And so many teams are sitting up there looking like, damn, do we want to get burnt like Miami with Odell?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can't remember seeing Odell play this year.
I don't think he has. If he has, he's
the same thing like with Baltimore. Odell didn't really play.
No, but he played. He actually went on the field. We have not seen Odell in a Miami Dolphin jersey.
Yeah. All right, look, let's pivot here. Get on to some positives, okay? Number one, Nico Collins had a second touchdown taken away from him for some shitty penalties, but 5 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. He's doing what he's supposed to do. The problem is, if CJ's not under or overthrowing him, the offensive line or another person is in motion and completely destroys anything that he's been trying to do. It's 2 weeks in a row that Nico Collins has had a touchdown called back because of a penalty. 2 games in a row. Nico is wide receiver 1 for us for the foreseeable future. I hope that eventually we can get him for more than 12 games a season. But I'm not holding my breath. I'm just not doing it. But even with Nico being good, let's just assume that they do bring back Stephon Diggs, and you still got Tank Dell. You got John Mechie entering his 4th year of his rookie deal. You probably do bring in another wide receiver.
Yeah.
And you still have Hutch. So, I mean, you're still going to bring in another wide receiver. I would draft one probably in the 2nd round, to be honest. But
now my first 2 rounds are offensive line. It's got it. I don't care. First two rounds got it.
I'm not opposed to that. I think I'm definitely down for the 1st round being like the best offensive lineman. The best thing that's happening for us so far is they're saying all of the best not all of the best, most of the offensive tackles currently playing college football right now are going to be better at guard or center, we are going to have a lot of opportunity to draft a guard or a center in this year's draft.
Okay.
What I don't think we have a lot of opportunity to draft are game-changing wide receivers. So I think we got to take one of those earlier than we take a second lineman. I'm definitely on board for a first-round lineman, though.
How about a
just,
DT?
Just got to be the right person. Do what?
How about a defensive tackle?
Probably. I wouldn't be opposed to that either. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. I wouldn't be opposed, like, depending on where our draft pick is, I wouldn't be opposed to trading back, picking up some more picks, and maybe getting another second round and drafting a wide receiver and a defensive tackle in round 2. That would be great. We'll see. But this offense needs a plethora of skilled wide receivers because nobody's staying healthy for shit other than Tank Dell somehow. I also have John Mechie on here as a riser. 3 games in a row, he's had more than 3 targets. He only caught 1 this week, but he was in and around the ball a lot. I mean, been making plays on special teams. Keep going, bud. You're fucking climbing. Punt team and Dameon Pierce. Dameon Pierce kickoff returns. When we drafted him, is not what I thought was going to be happening for him.
No way in hell. The first time we saw him back there, we were all like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. And then what was that?
And then he house called. We were like, "What the?"
Yeah. Dude.
Like even this year, when he's healthy, I don't want anybody else back there.
No, I want Dameon Pierce back there. And, it took a while for the actual punt team to kind of take shape and for Tommy Townsend to kind of start getting into, mid-season form, I guess. But he's booting them. He's flipping the hell out of the field. And then the punt team coverage against the Titans, they caused 2 fumbles, which gave us short fields, and eventually we turned it into field goals. But
issue.
It's just, it is an issue. It is an issue. They definitely need to capitalize more on those things. But the punt team is doing what they're fucking supposed to do.
They're doing their job. Yeah.
Yeah.
The no-name guys.
Yeah.
We can't tell you who the guys are on the punt team, but they're guys that's doing their damn jobs.
That's right. And that's why we can't tell you who they are. Not because we prefer their anonymity, but they're anonymous because they're doing their job well.
Like I said, we didn't even know Kadar was on special teams till he got hurt.
Yeah. Cade Stover outperformed Dalton Schultz this week. He gets that opening drive touchdown 20 yards away. Cade Stover's getting better by leaps and bounds every week, and I don't think it's too long before he's tied in 1.
Well, we said that earlier this year when they brought him in. I'm at this point where, hey, Dalton, you're taking a pay cut next year, or you're taking this pink slip, because we already said I'm bringing back Brevin. I'm bringing back Brevin Jordan. I'm bringing him back.
So much.
Mm-hmm. And then my final riser for the evening is the pass rush. Definitely a lot stronger in the first half than the second half, but 8 sacks in any game is hard to do, and it's something to be respected. 7 sacks in the first half. We had 2 sacks in the second half called back for penalty.
Might hear him again.
You can definitely hear that.
Yeah, it's my wife. My wife opened the door. That's what it was.
I was say it's way out of this time.
Yeah, my wife opened the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, he down there. It's definitely the saxophone today.
He's on the phone with somebody, just like, have you ever heard of G chord? Check us out. I'll hold it for 10 seconds. Hold up. But look, pass rush, phenomenal. 3 sacks for Daniel Hunter, 2 sacks for Will Anderson Jr., I think it was 2 sacks for Tommy Togiai, whatever his name is. And
yes. Yeah.
Aziz got 1. I mean, they were all in on the fun. It was one hell of a defensive performance until Petrie got hurt. And, realistically in the second half, outside of the one ridiculous 70-yard touchdown to a tight end, we pretty well held them in check.
Yeah, defense can't take too much blame on this one.
No. I mean, the first half, absolutely. Absolutely. There's some blame that needs to be taken in the first half for the defensive performance in the secondary. But I think a lot of that can be covered by the fact that Jalen Petrie wasn't on the field for most of the game at that point. But Jimmy Ward, he gets a pick six. It's our second game in a row with a defensive touchdown. And it was a bad Will Levis overthrow. He literally threw the ball way too far outside, and Jimmy Ward just happened to be there, housed it. I thought that was going to be a wrap. I thought after that happened,
Will Levis is good for a fucking pick six. That's what bothers me. All you gotta do is sit back and wait. Like, just wait. Will Levis is good for a pick six. But you know the problem is the offense can't get it together. They can't keep it together. I'm not understanding they putting the defense out there, and the defense. I am not mad about the defense giving up the points. I don't care. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna blame the offense. It's the offense fault. Stay on the field.
Yeah.
This is how I feel. Sorry.
I'm with you.
That's every one of them. I don't care. I don't care if they were on the risers list. Yeah, somebody needs to go sit down. Okay, I know. Somebody needs to go sit down. Where's Stephon Diggs at, man? You a captain. I know you ain't playing. You need to go sit down and talk to them dudes. I don't know what's going on. You a captain. You need to sit down and talk to these dudes. And another thing, I know Joe Mixon is not on either one of these lists. Like how he acts whenever he's not having a good day. I've seen that a couple of times now. I don't like how he acts when he's not having a good day. You're not gonna always have a good day.
But part of it is he's not having a good day because of him.
Yeah, like he's usually
it's his offensive
self.
Yeah. He'll be the first person to say, because he knows he's a veteran and he's a leader on this team. He's one of the older guys on the team. I'm not doing my job. He can't say that. He can look at Shaq, Juice, and even Jared Patterson and say, hey, y'all motherfuckers ain't doing y'all job.
Yeah. At times, this offense makes it look like offense is really, really hard to do.
God damn.
And to several degrees, most of the NFL is experiencing that same thing this year. It seems like the defenses across the league are kind of stepping up. But even still, like, we really haven't had a game where the offense was even close to humming this year. The Patriots game was kind of spitting and sputtering the whole time, and we'd get a big shot play, or we get close to the goal line and just hand the ball off to Joe Mixon. We're just not seeing any of what was advertised as this high-powered offense at all. They're not even a cohesive unit.
Or to get compared to the Jaguars. That's all I'm saying.
No. I don't want to hear it.
I don't think they're looking like that, but that's what they're getting. Think about it like this. I think CJ's hurt somewhere, like hand or something. What was Trevor Lawrence's problem last year?
He was hurt. He was hurt.
He was hurt. He was hurt, and then they just took a whole nosedive. Now I don't know what's going on this year, but God forbid, we have. My whole thing is we have to win these last two division games. I think we'll be all right because I don't care about the coach schedule. People can say about the coach schedule. The coach ain't gonna win their next 5 games. Honestly, I think Tennessee gonna beat them too.
I'm gonna tell you this: for us as fans, us as Texans, to really change our perception of what it is, they got to win out. They got to win the rest of these. They got to beat Kansas City. They got to beat Baltimore. Got to beat Miami. Got to beat Jacksonville. And got to kick the Titans' motherfucking ass for the last game of the season. Yep. Normally, you remember we talked about everybody. We probably rest a lot of guys that game. Nah.
Yeah.
The fact that y'all lost to them, you haven't earned the right to sit out game 18.
Yeah. Chris, you actually said something interesting right there. So the Titans' remaining schedule, they go at Washington, home against Jacksonville, home against Cincinnati, at Indianapolis, at Jacksonville, home against Houston. They lose 2 more games. We don't have to worry. Look, realistically, there's a part of me that doesn't even worry about the Colts at all, even though they have a pretty cupcake schedule right here. New England, bye week, Denver, Tennessee, the Giants, and then Jacksonville week 18. That's the Colts schedule.
And Denver is the best team they play for the rest of
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah. So if you're looking at it, they could go 4-1 right here, end up 9-8. That could be a real possibility. The Titans, a lot of the Titans fans think that, we're going to use this as a stepping stone momentum. We're going to beat Washington next week. No. Titans lose 2 more games, they're gone. The Jags, they're already at 9 losses. We would need to basically, what are we, 7-5 right now? We would have to lose 4 of the last 5 games for that to happen. For them to, they would have to win out, and we would have to lose 4 of the last 5.
Which is very possible. I don't know. I'm not trying to. Like I said, the game didn't make me too mad because I'm not surprised that it was a division game. Those are always tough games, so I'm not gonna overly look into it too much as far as that goes. Especially when it's the same stuff that's been happening all year. It's not like anything changed.
Yep.
Good teams don't lose to bad teams in their division.
It's not necessarily true.
No,
it's not true. It's not necessarily true.
Who?
Okay. The second Patriots Super Bowl with Tom Brady. They opened the season.
Oh no! I'm talking about this year, guys. I'm talking about this year. I'm not saying it for history. Pittsburgh's not a good team. They're not good.
Their defense is really good.
Exactly. There's actually an argument that where Justin Fields should still be starting over Russell Wilson. That's not a good team. If you have quarterback issues, you don't have a good team. Washington lost to Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't have to faith in Washington. Like I think
they're not good.
Yeah, I don't think Washington.
That's why Kansas City keeps winning. Because they are a good team.
Yeah.
Baltimore beat Cincinnati because they are a good team. Buffalo is winning because they are.
There we go. That's the team right there. Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore.
Who they lose against?
Cleveland.
The Raiders and Cleveland.
The Raiders aren't in their division.
Cleveland.
They're not in their division.
I'm
talking about Cleveland.
The Cleveland game.
The
only pass I will give on the Cleveland game. It was in the goddamn snow. That snow came from fucking nowhere, and nobody could play.
Okay, but not with Baltimore. They both got beat by famous Jameis. We can't ignore Baltimore. Baltimore's defense is atrocious.
That's true.
Though.
No, the game you're thinking of, that was the Steelers and the Browns this Thursday.
Yeah, that's what
Baltimore didn't Baltimore just lose to them the week before to Cleveland? Didn't they just lose to Cleveland the week before?
It might have been 2 weeks before, but regardless,
it was.
That's a thing.
But if we're being completely honest, how good of a team is really Baltimore?
Their defense.
If there's anybody, if anybody in their division is suspect, it probably is Baltimore.
Well, I mean, we basically said that the AFC North was probably one of the better divisions in football, and they're just going to cannibalize each other. But I mean, the Steelers and the Ravens are by far taking away that division, and the Bengals are basically eliminated. So
the Bengals, as much as I say, the Bengals have the MVP quarterback playing for their team, and they can't fucking win.
Yeah,
and
Joe Burrow,
offensive player of the year at receiver.
The thing is, Joe Burrow is having his best year ever, and they can't fucking win.
Yeah, their defense is atrocious. I'm not really understanding what's going on.
No, it ain't even just their defense. They have no running game.
Oh yeah, we took their running back.
But no, they gave him away. That. But no, that's what I'm saying is the Texans aren't a good team right
now.
No. Can they be? Maybe. But for me to even be able to show my face in front of a Titans, Jaguars, or even a fucking Colts fan and talk shit, we have to win out the rest of this year. I understand the 3 games in 10 days is, oh my God, that's just like fucking unheard of. But we have to do it.
Yeah.
Or we're going to the first round of the playoffs to come home.
Yeah.
We got a home game.
Yeah. 11 penalties for over 95 yards in this game. That is the 4th time this season we've had 11 penalties or more.
The fact that there's an or more attached to that is depressing.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah. We are I think, 3rd most penalized team. Our interior offensive line allows the most pressures in the NFL. And CJ Stroud is not comfortable in the pocket, and he's not comfortable reading the field when he's got to make off-schedule throws. And that's got a lot to do with the offensive line. So, look, we're playing the Jags next week, and we'll have a preview out probably Wednesday or Thursday, but we've got to get some shit figured out. The Jags game is the last game I feel that we have the opportunity to really put the gear, like squeeze the fucking nuts and bolts tight and try to get some shit lined up and acting right and, get this offense moving in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to have an easier opponent for a while. So we got to capitalize on it. They're not doing the best right now. So
shit, not out of respect for the Titans, I'm not even going to call them an easy opponent anymore. I'm not.
I mean, we did barely beat the Jags the first time.
Yeah.
Last second drive. Wasn't it a touchdown? That was a touchdown, right? That was actually a touchdown and not a field goal, if I remember right, against the Jags. That was the one last second drive that didn't end in a field goal. I think that was the Dare play. Was that the Dare game?
Yeah.
So that's my point exactly.
I will say this: Brian Thomas, that is that young man's name. Didn't he destroy us?
Yep.
I think he had like one catch for like 65 yards.
They did beat the Colts by 3 points, 37-33 earlier this season.
The only saving grace to that might be is the fact that I believe the Jaguars players have already quit on their coach.
Yeah, and I think their coach has already quit on them too. So
a lot of quitting. He's been like saying some crazy stuff, but a lot of I mean, I don't think it's there's something going on in the organization that I'm not really understanding what's going on there.
They're trying to go to London.
You having your boy come in for that again?
Yeah, one of them.
Oh, okay.
One of the Third and Teal guys will be here.
Oh, okay. I want the one that was here last time.
Eric
for the Jags game. That's the one I want if he's able to.
Yeah,
I'm just glad the Titans guy didn't come back because he'd have had a field day with me.
Yeah, I know he was talking shit, so I just
forget talking shit. I know he was surprised more than anyone. But I know you got to get up out of here, Curtis. Because you got some things you can handle. And I don't want to. I want to get on to the Jags game anyway.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you for taking time out of your evening to come on and talk about the most atrocious loss in a while. I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your evening to come listen to us talk about that atrocious loss. Like, subscribe, notification bell. Hop on over to That's Crazy Podcast and talk. Go support Chris. Like, subscribe, notification bell. Do the same thing for Mike, Mass 3 Productions on YouTube, across all social medias. Like, subscribe, notification bell. Folks, be good people and go Texans.
Go goddamn Texans.